Hello and welcome to Teleislas News with the most relevant and important news of the day.
More than 3 months after Hurricane Iota passed through the department, the Comptroller General of the Republic gives a report on the reconstruction initiatives made by the national government.
The Office of the Comptroller General of the Republic, within the framework of the special follow-up of the resources provided to attend the emergency in the archipelago of Santa Providence and Santa Catalina, released a report as of February 25th on the reconstruction initiative in Providence, where it indicated that 215 houses affected by Hurricane Iota have been repaired and there are roofs that have been repaired. However, reconstruction of 1,134 new houses has not been started.
De las 877 viviendas dispuestas para actividades de reparación,
of the 877 homes available for repair works, 215 of them have been intervened, consisting in the rehabilitation of roofs. Likewise, of the 1,134 new homes, 47 lots have been rehabilitated through the demolition and enlistment activities. It is important to mention that the insurance of 205 of 2021 has been known with the purpose of facilitating construction activities on issues associated with the construction of licenses.
The delegate controller stated that resources close to 258,000 million pesos have been allocated in different entities, among them the National Unit for Risk Management, Balcoldex, and Invias, and that also he pointed out the need to generate a process of sanitation and property ownership in the islands for the construction of new houses, due to the fact that the ownership of many properties has been inherited, which has generated that in about 90% of the properties, different houses were located without having a demarcation or document of ownership.
With respect to an action of protection filed by the Citizen or Civic Oversight of Old Providence requesting the protection of the cultural identity of the Raizal people, the Superior Court of the Archipelago Department of San Andres, Old Providence, and Santa Catalina resolved to declare the nullity of all the proceedings from the order issued by the Second Criminal Court of the Circuit of the Archipelago Department on December 18, 2020, except for the evidence practiced within the proceedings, which will retain its validity and will have full effectiveness for the reasons stated. It should be noted that regarding the challenge filed by the plaintiff in view of the sentence of January 22, 2021, issued by the Second Criminal Court of the Circuit of this city, there is a case of invalidity that cannot be annulled in the present case. Teleislas News will follow this decision.
In the Rosales Hooker Hall, the installation of the ordinary sessions of the Duma took place, which seeks to approve various bills that seek to benefit the department.
The Departmental Assembly began the period of ordinary sessions that summons all the members of the Duma. During this session, two projects will be debated. First is Project 001, which seeks to create a program called Islanders Community Bank, which aims to promote entrepreneurship by providing formal sources of financing on the island, under the joint direction of the Planning Secretariat and the Finance Secretariat. Second is Ordinance Project 002, which seeks to create a departmental home of passage in San Andres. At the time of this broadcast, the beginning of the ordinary session in the Duma is taking place. In our broadcast tomorrow, we will expand this information.
And in order to protect human rights in the Archipelago Department, today the Latin American Commission for Human Rights World Peace Councils was installed and introduced to the media in San Andres Islands.
Promote the observance and defense of human rights is the main objective of the Latin American Commission of Human Rights in the Archipelago Department. This afternoon, it was installed and introduced to the media and to the community. According to the General Director, from today begins a work of defense, promotion, and reivindication of human rights for the inhabitants of the island.
I ask you to have absolute confidence. I urge the authorities of the archipelago to work together to form a working team for the benefit of the most vulnerable sectors of the archipelago.
At the event, the appointment of the departmental director of this commission was made, Herman Rendon, who stated that he will work towards raising awareness.
We have to make an exhaustive control and that the aid really reaches those who need it. In that way, they do not stay halfway. We are going to be clear from the Human Rights Commission. We are going to show the media that the different aid has to reach those most in need.
At the event, the departmental executive coordinator and the departmental analysis of the commission were also appointed.
And in other news, the San Andres Sectional Prosecutor's Office managed to get a judge to place Chailin Escalona Prieto, allegedly responsible for the crimes of aggravated robbery in a heterogeneous competency with simple kidnapping, under preventive detention in a prison. The facts for which the woman is being prosecuted occurred on June 12, 2019, when the accused apparently participated as co-author of the theft of 100 million pesos, approximately, to a commercial establishment. The defendant did not accept the charges brought by the prosecutor's office.
And in other news, every February 29, it is celebrated World Day for Rare Orphan Diseases. This commemoration aims to raise awareness among general population, scientific societies, and public and private institutions about the importance of timely diagnosis.
Since Law 1392 of 2010 in Colombia, rare orphan diseases are recognized as a special interest, and norms are adopted to ensure social protection by the state to this population. Based on this regulation, the event Rare Orphan Diseases has been prioritized in the public health surveillance system. Colombia is one of the few countries in Latin America that has a registry of patients diagnosed with 2,198 orphan diseases. According to the Ministry of Health, as of December 31 of 2020, 58,032 people are registered in this database. This past February 28 commemorates the World Day of these low prevalence pathologies, which, according to Carolina Rivera, President of the Board of Directors of the Colombian Association of Human Genetics, are defined by Colombian law as those diseases that affect 1 in 5,000 inhabitants, is chronically debilitating, severe, and potentially lethal. An Islander's mother of a patient with cystic fibrosis tells us her journey in getting her daughter's diagnosis.
It all started when she was 9 months old. We took her to the hospital, then they gave her medication and sent her home. She was admitted again because she had a lot of flu. Then did not tell me what she had. We went to Barranquilla, then the doctor saw her and it was detected that she was cystic fibrosis.
According to experts, a person can take up to 7 years to be diagnosed with a disease of this type.
And now we continue with all the information from the sister island of Old Providence. And this past Saturday at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Mayor Jorge Norberto Gary, along with the Secretary of Infrastructure and Planning, among others, held an open talk called Ask the Mayor with the community.
Issues such as the non-inclusion in the list of the first 50 houses, water tanks, eco-toilets, and even the presentation of the work to be done on the new bridge were discussed during the sectorial meeting as the mayor in Santa Catalina. One of the participants gave their summary on what the meeting was like.
We touched the team with alcantarillado. We touched the team also where they have a machine here we make the water. We would like to turn it over to the community with Action Comunal to handle the situation with the water. We touch a team with the house them. We have a team with the house them that some we don't know whose list we're on, new house or reparation. So they told us that tomorrow till Tuesday they will pass in the list what we know what we know.
One of the conclusions will be to set up an oversight or community audit team to inform the mayor of what is happening.
Talk about the bridge. I talk about the bridge. We beg them to have a socialization with the community because the project that I know, for example, had on the 2-piece wing where we use to get off and get on the garbage cleaner. They said they want to give us a basura tank. We talk about the carp and them that some of the carp and them there on the ground, and when rain start coming down, when flood goes so, but they begin to support us. They support us, and so it's a board fee, put it on board for when rain come, we know what's up.
Finally, it was requested to intervene first the houses that served as shelters in case they have to take a hide from a hurricane again.
And the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, the Governor's Office, and the DEAM were also present on the island of Providence, where the regional Agroclimatic worktable was held.
In order to help farmers and fishermen to organize their agricultural and fishing calendar after the passage of Hurricane Iota, the first Agroclimatic roundtable was held on the island of Providence. It is confirmed that the next 3 months will be mostly of drought season on the island.
Providence, we must be very attentive to this dry season because historically we have never had so much plant material that is either on the ground or vegetation that is very dry and can dry out even a little more. In the history of Old Providence, we have never had so much plant material that can be exposed to fire.
For this reason, during this roundtable, they not only talk about rainfall, temperature, wind and solar radiation and how it will affect agriculture, but also about forest fires that could be devastating for the island at this time.
We are going to be very cautious and take care of the island of Old Providence during this dry season, avoiding burning. And if anyone sees someone burning, please invite them to put it out quickly. Do not burn at night. Please do not burn because you can burn down even your own house. Let's avoid forest fires.
Although participants of the other organizations and institutions were not present, the idea is to keep fishermen and farmers informed of the changes in climate.
La idea es que una vez al mes presencial.
The idea is that once a month a person will arrive and share information on what the weather will be like for the upcoming month and give in-depth information on forecasts for up to 3 months so that agrofishing activities on the islands can be planned based on this information.
Finally, this information should be disseminated through all media possible. The Municipal Secretary of Agriculture and Fisheries will lead this first process until the table is established.
And in cultural news, the music cloister is the new alternative that the Secretary of Culture will use to reactivate the economy of the islands while strengthening the ancestral customs of the archipelago.
With the objective of strengthening the orange economy of the island through culture, the ministry and related vice ministry will meet this March 3rd in the island to sign commitments that will contribute to the economic reactivation of the archipelago.
New things coming up for the island, like the Creole music cloister. We want to be one platform to fertilize all the local artists, them writers, and even DJs. So this coming 3 March, we will meet with the Ministry of Culture and also the Business Ministry. The Business Ministry of Culture in order to get on one agreement or written agreement. In that written agreement, the intention is to start with the what we call Mesa de Economía Naranja so that we can activate and fertilize the orange economy here in our island so that our artists them can have one direct channel where we can finance and fertilize this activity that they have been doing. So we want to fertilize artists them. I want them to keep in tune while we keep in promoting and fertilizing our culture here in the island.
And after a week full of cultural activities, the celebration of Creole Day concluded with a virtual concert where our local artists poured all their talent in honor of our beautiful language.
A virtual concert, but no less fun, was the closing of the celebration of Creole Day by the Secretariat of Culture, with the participation of several local artists. The Secretary of his portfolio gave a short report of the culmination of this mother tongue week on the island.
Just want to show you, the advancement what we have done in the Creole Day, but as I said a while ago, that Creole Day is every single day, so we have to keep the promote and fertilize with Creole in a special way. Well, the activity was really, really nice because we get to have some academical moment with great leaders from the culture like Adele Christopher and Lola Pomir, Samuel Robinson, and several of them, So we also thank them to participate in this in fertilizing our Creole Day. I want to keep them do this activity because really it is important for us to fertilize our identity. As well, we have the participation of plenty of we local artists, them great artists, them we support with music. Well, it was a virtual concert where was being promoted through Rosemary Hooker Live, which is Be My Guest. That is one virtual program we want to keep the youth in order to fertilize with Creole and with artists them in at the island.
This me, I tell you now, this really at me. Oh, they be islanders, we kill islanders. This me, I tell you now, this really at me. Oh, they be islanders, we kill. So this me, I tell you now, this really at me. Oh, they be islanders. islanders, we kill islanders. This way me I tell you now, this really at me. How them be islanders, we kill islanders.
It's a raving down. We drink the rum and we don't care. Just flash your light as in the air. Well, about some of your waiting for.